Kata Upanishad. Yeah. The Kata Upanishad 2, 1, 14. Part 2, section 1 and the 14th verse. We will take to read the 14th and the 15th. The 14th is, as water raining down on an inaccessible height becomes dispersed on lower hilly regions, similarly, one who perceives the selves differently runs after them only. Yatodakam durge prishtam parvateshu vidhavati evam dharman pratak pasyan tanevanu vidhavati. It is the one becoming the many. As rain, you can say, falls on a mountain top, what happens? Well, all the rainwater runs down from all the sides, and if it is raining and raining, then what happens is the water runs down in various rivulets down below, and they disperse over and over again. What has actually happened? That rain has a quality of one. It is water, and that water has now become dispersed. It has become rivers and streams and waterfalls and cataracts, and we have the whole bunch. And this is actually what has happened. So, this illustration has been given to show how the one appears as the many. It is true that there is an underlying unity. When you see all the forms of water everywhere, you know it's water. Some water is muddy, some water is polluted, some water is clean, some water appears blue, and some green, and some large and some small. Water is a wonderful element, and whenever you see it, that's water. But that's not meant for drinking. Like Sri Ramakrishna says, everything is apo narayana. God is likened to water. Narayana is water. Now, but Sri Ramakrishna says some water is used for worship, some water used for cleaning, washing utensils, and some for the bathroom, and some. So different uses. It's the same water. It's the same God as appearing as the many in many forms. In the kaleidoscope also, you keep on turning, and then you have different designs coming. What's actually happening? There's a reflection and a refraction in the mirrors, and that is appearing to produce innumerable designs and forms and colors. What's happened? Nothing happened. When we look at the surface, we see various manifestations of that one. Like, take for example, we know that what materials are in this table, in this computer, in me, in this book and chair and table. It appears different, but the material is the same. It's those five major elements: earth, water, fire, ether, and uh, this earth, water, fire, wind, and ether, or space,
Space, Akash.
Akash. If you look at it closely, we have the periodic table with all different elements. And what are the different elements in the periodic table? Just a few atoms moved here, some with less, some with more, and that has made them different elements. Just the absence or the presence of a few molecules gives a kind of a transformation to that same thing. Some elements combine and become something else. What is happening at the molecular level? We'll see all forms are one. If you go deeper down in the atomic level, all forms, actually all matter is one. If you go deeper down on the quantum level, on the subatomic level, there also you'll find everything is one. The material is one, and the material then appears as energy. Like Einstein said, it's all energy there, the quantum world. So what is appearing outside, above, seems to be a kind of an illusion. When the law of gravity was kind of formulated by Newton, oh, that was a perfect system. Yeah, it is a perfect system. But then Einstein comes and says, no, gravity is not a kind of a force that keeps on pulling you down. What's that? It's a constant falling down. It is a curvature in time and space. So, what happened? Outside, we are seeing Newton's laws being applied and being applicable on the large scale, but on the small scale, on the quantum scale, they don't work. So, there you have the Einstein's theories of gravity, the curvature of time space, where the solid body of kind of matter that's revolving. What happened? So, which is real? What is on the surface, it becomes secondary, becomes external. What is at the core of a thing is real. Now, if you look at matter like this, energy has now displayed itself in these various forms, which is appearing as matter. We say, what's matter? What are the elements? Well, you say they are made of bricks and stones and wood, and go down deeper into that and find that, okay, they are made of molecules and then atoms and then subatoms and then go down below. What do you find? The idea is as you go down more and more inside, you will come to the unity in diversity. And this is important. Now, if you look at it from another standpoint, life. All life is one. All life, yes, all life is one because it has sprung from one primordial life form, and it has diversified and manifested into these bewildering forms that we see all around: the trees and insects and fish, the innumerable types of fish, marine life, terrestrial life. Oh, so what? How has this thing has come about? Well, it has come up from one root. One life is manifesting as this life. Then, when you come down to the mind, well, even in Vedanta, you're saying, yes, we are all parts of that one unified cosmic mind. And as in the previous verse, a few verses before, we had mentioned it. We had discussed it also. This has to be attained through the mind alone. Manasa eva aptavyam. Neha nana sikin. There is no diversity at all here. One who sees a diversity goes from death to death. It's as simple as that. And death, as we have discussed, is ignorance, non knowledge. But we are seeing the diversity. Yes, you are not seeing into the heart of that diversity. Everywhere it is that same material or same life or the same mind that is manifesting like this. So this illustration, how the one becomes the many. Well, reminds me of Swami Vivekananda used to, you know, tell a joke which he had heard here in the US, and he used to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. So the joke is a preacher in the South telling the congregants, and then God made Adam out of clay. And after making it clay, took that clay, you can say figure, and placed it against a fence to dry it. Then one of the congregants, hey, wait there, preacher, who made that fence? And then the preacher says, Tom, you don't be asking this question. You'll be destroying all, you'll be breaking all theology. So it's something like this. You'll be smashing all theology. And Swami Vivekananda used to repeat this often to his devotees and friends, and he used to laugh and who will defend? Now, one rain is one element. It is falling down on the mountain and it is dispersing down the sides of the mountains. And no mountain sides are smooth. They're all kind of craggy and hollow, and there are rocks and various things. Somebody might ask, "Hey, wait there, Swami. Where did that mountain come from?" And I will say, "Hey, you don't ask that question. You will smashing all theology." So it's like that. The illustration is not the real thing, but the one appears as many because of Maya. So Maya makes this one appear as a many. So does the one really become many? No, it appears as the many. The essential qualities of that one is always there. It's like we are kind of the human species, and we have come risen from millions and billions of years of evolution. Oh, millions, 4.5 billion years. Okay, that's what the scientists say, and they're good enough. Where is that history written? Well, it's written there within you. The whole thing is within you, within me. Yes, it is in your DNA, in your chromosomes. Everything is there. All the lives that you have lived, the life forms are all there. And now, even now, they're finding Neanderthal genes in a human gene. There. Nothing has gone extinct. As it were, we are the sum total of all the lives that we have lived. We are the essence of all life. So that's why deep down within us, we carry that whole unity, that whole history, that unified history is written down in us. And when you look at it from the mental life, the whole history of your travels is also written down in your in the realms of karma. That is called a memory of karma, karmic memory. So you have a genetic memory. Oh, I wasn't. Oh, I can say hominid. No, you were. You have all your previous ancestors had come from there. Now, if we have this whole unity, if you look everywhere, that if you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you will find that everything has sprung out from one place and has branched out over and over and over and over and over and again. It's evolution is still doing its work. It's still branching off. It's not stopped yet. So that's on the physical. On the mental level also, we will see that even all those lives that we have lived, we have memories of it. And the yoga scriptures say that the, the, during the last birth, you will remember all your lives. It will come out in a flash. But that's beside the point. What we are trying to emphasize is that there is a unity. There is no break anywhere between the sun and me. What was in the sun 8 minutes ago is now in me. What is in the moon? Matter is one huge ocean, like Swami Vivekananda says. The sun is one point, the moon is one point, I am one point, the rock is another point, and the tree is another point. There's one whole ocean of matter. There's a whole ocean of mind. There's a unity. And this is what this wonderful world is. It's a tremendous world. There's both unity as variety. Variety appears on the surface, unity appears down below the surface. And when we come down to the very basic, you can say, entity within ourselves, and that is explained as evam dharman, thus the selves. Another word for the selves, the individual selves is dharma. So evam dharman pritak pasha, and he's saying similarly, one who perceives the selves differently runs after them only. So what do? We run after the many. We do not get the reality. We don't see the one running through the many. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord also says, I am like that string that runs through all the pearls and which make up the various, you can say, doctrines. Sutre Manigana Iva. It is that which holds everything together. And it is the duty of Vedanta, Swami says, to trace those connections, the various selves, the various souls which are there, teeming in this universe, from the lowest to the highest. Don't think that there's only this world that we see around here, the gross world. There are these subtle worlds and even subtler worlds. There are beings up there in those subtle realms. And all of us are kind of tied down to that one basic, you can say, Atman or Brahman, which is appearing as the many jivas. Another example, illustration that Swami Vivekananda and the Vedanta also give, like the sun is reflected in millions and millions and millions of waves and wavelets and globules of water. It is that one sun which is reflected. It is not many suns that are reflected, or the one moon is reflected in millions and millions of waves. So also that one Brahman is appearing as the many. Don't run after the many, go for the one. And this verse also is a kind of cautioning us, don't run after the many. You know why? They give an example of a musk deer, Mriga trishnika. That musk deer has musk in its kind of belly. That's the old idea. It has a secretory glands. It secretes that, you can say, chemical musk, and it is so enamored. It's so attracted to its own musk. It runs about searching for it. It doesn't realize that it is within itself. So also we also run about in this place, in churches and temples, vain thy search. Swami Vivekananda says, thine only is the hand that holds the rope that drags thee on. Cease lament, let go thy hold. Say Om Tat Sat Om. So here it is there within us. The heart of the universe is there within us. And we need to catch it. Don't run after the. See, what happens is the work of Maya. Now, we said the Maya is like that mountain, kind of, and that reality, as it were, is like the rain that pours. And, oh, but where is that mountain? Do we go searching outside for that mountain? No, no. You don't need to go searching outside for the mountain. The highest mountain we'll go and see. Well, that Maya mountain is in our own minds. That reality which is reflected becomes kind of dispersed by the mind. Take, for instance, I want to have a cup of tea, and then I go for a cup of tea. Now, what things do I need for a cup of tea? Well, I need a cup, of course, a mug. And then I need a tea bag. I need a hot water. I probably need sugar. And then I get all these things together. And if one element is not there, I keep on searching for it. Then somebody else comes and says, "Oh, why do you go for this? Uh, go for coffee." And I say, "No coffee." Yeah, somebody offers me a cup of coffee, and then someone else comes saying, "Let's share the cup of." And then we discuss. Oh, the tea or the coffee is so nice, so beautiful. We keep on discussing, and we've forgotten the main thing, that we are supposed to enjoy that. That what happens is Maya catches us and disperses us. What I'm trying to say is, it catches you, like Swami Vivekananda says, holds you by the wrist, by the hand, and pulls you out. Come and come, say, yeah, I'll show you something more. Or then you get, oh, this is wonderful. Come, I'll show you something more wonderful, and pull you here, and pull you here. So karma is like that momentum you have started. One thing leads to another, and another, and another, and another, and another. We are caught in this momentum. It's always like that. It's always. It starts from a simple single cell life, and then it becomes more and more and more complex as time goes on. Mind also was started as a kind of a simple element. Then a sense of I came. Yeah, I have a mind, and these are my experiences here. And as we say, this is my experience, and this is not my experience, and I have become trapped. To return back to that stage, and that's what the Upanishads have been keeping on telling us, that higher than the body is the senses, higher than the senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the intellect, higher than the intellect is the great soul, and higher than the great soul is that unmanifest. It keeps on and on and on, and the journey is reversed. It journeys towards unity. It's always to let go of all what you're holding on and come back to it. So as water raining on an inaccessible height, Durgam Vrishtham Parvateshu, they say, gets dispersed on lower hilly regions, Vidhavati, Parvateshu Vidhavati. Similarly, one who perceives the selves differently runs after them only. It's like that deer running in that water which it sees, which is actually a mirage. And we are running for that water, and that mirage keeps on getting further and further away. And the poor deer dies out of thirst and exhaustion. So, similarly, don't run after the many, run after the one. Try to understand the one in the many. Go down deep. And as we go on down deep, we will see that unity. Once you get the idea of unity within you, you will see it everywhere. Okay. The next verse, the 15th, and which is the last verse here in this section. So, after explaining the nature of that reality which is now dispersed, the Upanishad is explaining how is unity attained. That's the idea. Otherwise, it's only, oh, we are forever doomed to be dispersed and not understanding the one in the many. No, this is what is. It's just want to show there's that kind of a homogeneous mass of pure consciousness. When the perception of duality is destroyed, they say, "O Gautama, as pure water poured on pure water becomes verily the same, so also does become the self of the person of knowledge who is given to meditation on the self." The words use deliberation, but meditation. So here, like pure water is being poured into pure water. What happens to that? Is there any kind of separateness? No, it merges and becomes one. Sri Ramakrishna also used to say that, given in his parable, a salt doll went to measure the depths of the ocean. And as it plunged inside, what happens? It dissolved. Why? Because the salt has come out from that sea and it became one with it. So the idea of separateness goes away. Sri Ramakrishna also gives the example of, it's like, a showless water, and the stick of the ego is kind of floating on that water. Apparently, it divides the water into this side. But is the water divided by a small stick that's floating on the water? No. But when we see that, apparently, yeah, it is this side and that side. It's all just water, and that appearance of the stick is really nothing but an illusion. So the appearance is an illusion. The real is the one. यतोदकं शुद्धे शुद्धम् आसिक्थं तादृगेव भवति एवं मुनेर्विजानतः आत्मा भवति गौतमः. Gautama is, these teachings are being taught to Nachiketa by the god of death, Yama. So Gautama is his kind of family name. So he's using it. So he's saying, oh, Gautama. So it's not Gautama Buddha. Even Gautama Buddha, his name was Siddhartha. Gautama was his lineage from that. And it's always in India, we trace a lineage to a sage. So Gautama is that sage from where this lineage has started. So to come back to, O Gautama, as pure water, yato udakam shuddhi, poured in pure water, becomes verily the same. So as pure water poured in pure water. And now this, it's only the unity is only on the level of water. No, it's everywhere. All elements which are outside, all matter which is outside, go down deep, its energy, and energy is one. It's flowing one into another. You cannot say uh, this is Adrija's energy and this is Rina's energy. They are separate. No, there's energy on the energy level. It's of one only.
And you wish too.
Yeah.
Wow.
He must have get you.
So these differences, when they are brought closer together, you'll see, oh my God, there is no difference at all at the core of the being. It's all one. So the illustration given like water poured into water, pure water poured into pure water. There- there are like, you pour dirty water into pure water, you might see traces of that pollution, that dirt also there. So it's qualified with pure water poured into pure water. What happens is it remains pure. And this is what so also does become that self of the person, of a person of knowledge. Why person of knowledge? Yes, that person of knowledge has gone down to the core of the universe. Where is the core of the universe? Well, it is there within each one of us. So if you can get that, you can unravel the whole. Once you understand this wave in the mind, you can understand all the waves in the mind. You understand your own self, you understand everything. In the morning prayer, we have opening that self to the knowledge of thyself. Chaitanya's prayer. uh, Oh moonlight, stream down in the lotus of your heart, opening yourself to the knowledge of thyself. So this is exactly what happens. So as we go down deep inside, we get the knowledge. That knowledge is of the self. It's a knowledge of unity, knowledge not of the diversity. And once you understand, oh, this is what it is, you understand the whole thing. No longer will the images on the screen ever fool you, because now you know that there's a screen at the back, which actually is required to for the pictures to fall on a surface. So we don't see the surface of that, but we see only the pictures that appear on the surface. And when we go to a movie, wow, we enjoy it so much. And for the time being, we are so caught up in that action. And there's a flood coming, and there's a fire, and people are running and trying to escape, and you also caught up in that. Actually, that's what happens. You're caught up in this diversity, this, and if you would have looked close enough, you would have understand, well, it's an appearance, it's an illusion. This is the state of realization for a person of knowledge. So that's the reason why you say, so does become the self of a person of knowledge who is given to deliberation on the self. Now, what happens is this person, he or she will not identify with the body. That person will identify with the cosmos. You got this? So the whole body of this, on the gross level that we see, this person identifies with it. When on the subtle level, that person will identify with the subtle universe, the universe of the mind. And still deeper, that person will identify with the totality of existence. That is God or Ishvara, Saguna Brahman, that person. So what is the result of this knowledge is this person's individuality no longer exists. It has become the universality. And what is this universality? That is the identity of God. That's the identity of Ishvara, Saguna Brahman. That person becomes identified with that. So this is what happens. So what about my cookies? Sri Ramakrishna was told by his disciples, well, tell the divine mother to cure you of your little of the, so that you can eat a little, because he couldn't swallow anything. So Swami Vivekananda and all they told Sri Ramakrishna, who was very ill. So Sri Ramakrishna, after some time, he scolded them. He's saying, I asked the divine mother, Mother, these boys are saying to cure this thing a little so that I can eat. And mother showed me, why you're eating through so many mouths? Well, and then that's why Sri Ramakrishna scolded them. See? Through all hands we work, through all feet we walk, through all minds we think, through all mouths we eat. We are never alone. We are the universe. There is no fear anymore. What is this fear of death and anxiety and stress and all these things that were happening? It's because we had separated ourselves from the whole. We built a kind of a false identity that I am separate and this world is separate. I have nothing to do with this. And when a virus comes, and now it shows how connected we are. We are not separate. We thought we were separate from the whole, but it's showing us in a very intense way how the rich and the poor, the learned and the ignorant, and young and the old, everyone are so connected. It had to take us humble virus to bring in this idea of unity. And still, foolishly, we don't acknowledge that unity. We want to transmit it free to others. Ideas? It is, this is the fact, this is the reality. If we could understand this reality, it is there on a deeper level, we are all connected. Well, nothing happens in this universe without affecting other parts of the universe. And this is one of those ages in science where it is now proving these old doctrines of the Vedanta in a very powerful and forceful language. So long the Vedantic terminology, and you can say language, or philosophical and metaphysical and moral. And now the language of Vedanta is scientific. There it is. It is true. It is observed. It is discovered. It is there, experienced. So the more we separate ourselves, the more miserable we become. The more we are one, the more we will eradicate all ideas of separateness and loneliness and everything that has made us what we are in an illusory way. We thought we will do many things in life. Everybody comes with that fresh energy. We will do something. And then after a while, nature shows the person his place in life, slaps him a little and pushes him down. You stay down. Millions of you have come and tried to break things up. Nobody can break this unity. Nobody can be away from this unity. We are kind of embedded in this fabric of nature. And once we recognize that we are part of that massive tapestry or the fabric of nature, we become liberated. So, as pure water poured into pure water becomes pure water, so the self of a person of knowledge becomes that universal self. Evam Muner Vijanata. There's a Mune that is one who is a deep thinker, Mananashil, one who thinks deeply, and Vijanata, one who knows. So these are the, you can say, characteristics of a person of knowledge. A person has plumbed the depths of the universe. And where the depths? Again, it's in our own heart. Once we can pull, like Swami Vivekananda says, you cannot separate an atom from the whole and pull it away. You'll have to pull at the whole universe. All the atoms and molecules in the universe will be dragged along with that one atom. So why do you need to separate that one atom from the unity? Why do you need to separate yourself from the unity? We all one. And the more we are progressing in these sciences and these knowledges, the more we are understanding how something that started in China here has taken the whole world by storm. How some pollution in some place is affecting everyone's health and life here. How one person's good deed or bad deed is affecting millions of people. How we need to be careful and not destructive. How we need to save the environment. We keep on throwing plastics, and the plastics are coming back to us. We are in the process, we are killing so many living things. Well, it's going to come. The law of karma comes back to us. So the more we can understand our connections with the whole, we will respect all life. We will respect all forms of life. We will respect this creation and stand in veneration for it, because that is our real nature, the self. We stop here today. We'll take up a local questions, of course, but next Wednesday we take the second section of the second chapter, and it will take us to a different angle of perception about this knowledge of Brahman. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
Today, 7:30 Gospel.
Today we have 7:30 Gospel reading by Swami Sarvadevananda. Tomorrow we have the Bhagavad Gita 7:30 again in the evening by Swami Satyamayananda.